Okay, hello, welcome back to the channel. So this is the channel where I talk about my journey to financial freedom, or at the very least, I try to build a life that is worth fighting for, going for, moving forward for. I don't know what the right phrase is. So I like to kind of talk about my finances, my career / side hustle ideas, and health, as well as other things in life. Let's start with health today, because I went to the doctor today, and that might not sound like a big thing, but I don't, for some reason, I don't like going to the doctor. In a way, doing this video is almost therapeutic for me, because it's like, I don't know. When I was at school, I don't think I missed a proper day of school through illness. Maybe I did, I just can't remember it. Maybe I just blanked it out, but I, touch wood, am rarely ill. And yet, the older you get, if you hit the Gen X type of age group, you know that the aches and pains kick in more, and you know that manning up, or pushing things to the side isn't a good recipe for success. In the last few weeks, I've had conversations with different friends that have had health scares. So, a couple of them out of the blue. One of them had a niggling issue which he had to address, and it was more serious than he assumed, and that kind of thing. And I mentioned some of this in the previous video. So the very fact I went to the doctor is a positive. I mean, the reality is, I do know that I can be quite hypochondriac, sensitive to aches and pains, and sometimes think it could be something bigger than it is. And that's perhaps what I thought this time. And I've had some tests that have been okay today, and I'm going to do some more tests in the next week or so. But certainly in terms of taking control of that health thing, we all need to do it. And it's not just the cosmetic things, because we all want to look better, so we might kind of work out to look good, eat in a certain way to look good. It's actually about the quality of your life, the quality of your health. And so I'm glad I went to the doctor today. Again, some more tests next week, touch wood, that'll be okay. But it's important to kind of bring these things up, because as a man, I just kind of push it to the side and don't really bury my head in the sand. So yeah, I'm kind of proud that I actually did it, when I know that I have no real excuse for not doing it. So that's one thing. At the same time, I'm still procrastinating about some things with my finances, which I know I need to sort out, where I know I need to make time during the day when I'm at work to go and get some certain things certified. Very boring, very plain stuff, but it does have an economic relevance and impact. And it's these little things which in and of themselves aren't that important, but when you have many of these little strands in your life around your finances that you don't quite tie down, you don't quite tidy up, they can have a significant impact over time. And I'm telling myself this, and I think you should look at your own lives and think, what things am I not doing, which I know I should be doing, which I know aren't that big in and of themselves, but collectively can have a big bearing on how my life turns out sometime in the future, distant future or otherwise. So look at those things, because again, it's very important to get a grip of these little things, and little things turn into big things. That's really what the way I want to look at it, or they can turn into big things, and that's important. Right, on the career side, or the side hustle side, so I've had some interesting, I was listening to a YouTube yesterday, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. And it was one of those realities. The reality is, so often I think I fool myself into the idea that I'm doing stuff. I mean, I am doing things on the side hustle element, and I am building things, but am I focusing on $3 dynamics as opposed to $3,000 dynamics? And what I mean by that is some of the things perhaps I've been looking at on KDP, on Amazon or on Etsy. Am I pricing myself at the right level, or am I not challenging myself enough in a way that I should be going for the higher margin type of digital products? So I realise a lot of things I have been doing have been really low return things. Or to put it another way, if I was to be successful at Project X, whatever Project X is, what kind of return would I expect to get? What kind of scale of return? And looking at it that way, I realise some of the things I've done, some of the books I've done, the self-publishing books on Amazon, great as an exercise, but if my goal is to create financial freedom, those aren't going to get me there. You know, the 6 or 7 I've published, even if I sold 10 books each per week, well, which I wouldn't, but even if I did, again, that's not necessarily going to get me to where I want to be. So I've got to think smarter about building bigger with the help of AI, with the help of someone who's making me accountable, with the help of proper structure, with the help of a defined target audience, a defined business plan, etc., etc. And these things are certainly areas that I have dipped in and out of, but in my last few days of quiet time before my family returns from holiday, I have to be a bit more proactive and intentional about how this business idea will be. I rebranded my YouTube channel yesterday, and again, it's these little things also have value. So before I was saying little things that add up negatively, well, the little things that could add up positively, I'm going to start thinking more about that. So I've rebranded it based on a bit of help from ChatGPT. So I was looking for ideas, and the phrase jumped out at me: be your plan B. Because we all need to have a plan B, in my view. We cannot rely on the man, society, government, your boss, your employer, your industry, etc., etc. And we all know that we have to find ways in which to cushion our careers. I talked about career cushioning the other week. So for me, it's about trying to find the right balance around managing my current financial status, managing my current job status, so doing as well as I can in that, in a way that gives me some opportunities to upskill and at least have a network and perhaps earn a bit more money. In this day and age, wage inflation is not great in my industry. And then to find what is that way, not necessarily the way out, but what is my safety net if I aren't able to continue in my role. What can I do as my plan B? And I've got to take control of that plan B rather than just wait for something to fall out of the sky. So yeah, this is something I am more serious about, and again, I need to take it seriously. I mean, keep it simple, but take simple seriously. I've got to take it seriously to the extent that it's got to be worthy of me championing, worthy of me chasing, worthy of me seeing long-term value in. Yeah, that's I sometimes use these videos as a therapeutic opportunity for me to just get things off my chest. And so if anybody's out there who has any thoughts on any of the areas I've talked about, feel free to comment below, like and subscribe. Again, this is my journey that I'm doing through the internet, talking to myself sometimes, talking to anybody that wants to listen. But I hope that you're doing the same kind of thing. I think everybody should have a YouTube channel just to bounce ideas off, just to practice in front of a camera, because again, that's a skill that's going to be more relevant in an AI world. Yeah, I've been doing it for probably about 18 months now, and I have become so much more comfortable with the camera. You look at my first few videos, I'm a different, well, not a different person, but yeah, have a different approach at different times over the last 18 months. So yeah, that's all I've got to say today. So yeah, feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and follow my journey. And I think it's time for me to go to the gym, because health is wealth, and that's the role I want to be following at the moment. Bye for now.